Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Andy. Andy is from Washington, D.C. in the USA. So let's see what Andy has to say. Enjoy the interview.
William, hello, my friend.
Hello Andy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Of course, man. Thanks for reaching out. I'm sorry we got delayed. I'm glad that we're able to do it today, though.
It's okay. So tell me, how's your day going so far?
Going good. It's going good. I've got a couple of irons in the fire that I'm working on.
Uh-huh.
That I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Sort of a changing dynamic environment, but it's good. I've got some upcoming travel I'm looking forward to, and launching a survey to be doing some hosted trips later this year. So it's exciting. It's good stuff.
Amazing. And where are you based, and where are you from?
I am in Washington, D.C., my friend, although I have lived many, many places. But for right now, I'm in Washington, D.C.
And that's the place where you were born and raised?
No, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and I spent the first 10 years of my life there, but then I spent a lot of time in California. Mostly I've been in California.
I
Yeah.
see. And all your family are back there.
No, my family's here in Washington. It's one of the reasons I'm here now.
I
So
see.
they went there and then came back, and I waited over there for a while and have finally come back to join them.
By the way, should I call you Andy or Andrew?
Andy, you can call me Andy.
Andy, I know I was checking, of course, I was checking your profile, and I was checking your YouTube channel as well. And of course, the beautiful job that you do over there, with the elephants, the animals, your travels. So tell me a little bit about your adventure, your journey so far, how the idea came along.
Thanks, man. Oh, sorry, that's our meeting that I just had. That was our meeting. Well, so my adventure's been pretty topsy-turvy. I was and am an actor, but that was my first passion. And then in 2018 decided that I was going to get on the other side of the camera and teach myself how to make a movie. And I was going to do that by making a documentary, which took me to Asia for 5 months, where I made my film Discovery Mode, which you can see on my YouTube channel and you can see links to through Instagram. And after that, I had spent some time filming elephants in Thailand, and that got me connected to conservationists in South Africa. And so for the past 5 years, I've been working with them and developing a TV series called Saving Giants, which has involved filming several different operations that we do in emergency animal interventions out there in South Africa. And that is what then launched my Instagram channel, which is now has become focused around animal conservation and travel. So that's how I got here.
Wow. And what's the next step now? What's you're going to work from now on?
So right now, I am actively putting Saving Giants out there for the world to see. I am actively pursuing getting this commissioned into a TV series. I have 2 documentary films that I am editing in post, which have taken a long time, but I'm working on them. And the most exciting thing is that I'm going to be hosting trips, which people who know me through social media can actually come with me and travel the world together. I'm going to be co-hosting with one of my friends, Wildcat Wanders, who you can find on some of my social media posts. But we're going to be going around the world, and people can come and tag along, and we can interface together and get to know each other and go on these adventures together. So that's pretty exciting. My year is looking busy. It's going to be a busy year, dude. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah. And where are you planning to start this journey, interviewing people?
Well, that is yet to be determined. I'm going to be going on my first co-hosted trip with Ting Ting Guan in June. We are going to be going to Egypt, and then we are going to be going to Ireland and England. And that's going to be my first time going and traveling in a group with other people who have met on social media. And we're going to be doing these amazing meditations and dance practices and sort of holistic wellness practices in some of the coolest places in the world. I mean, some of the stuff they're going to be doing in Egypt is, I couldn't say no. It's going to blow my mind. We're doing a Nile cruise and we're going to be
Wow.
meditating inside of the pyramids. You're going to be meditating inside the pyramid. It's going to be wacky. It's going to be wild. So, yeah. So that will be technically people will be able to join me on those. I'll be posting links about that. People can come and hang out if they want.
And have you been those places before, Egypt, England, and Ireland, or not?
So I've never been to Ireland. I went to England when I was 9 years old, and then I went to Egypt when I was 18. So it's been a long time. I've always wanted to go back to these places as an adult because I feel like I can appreciate them in a different way. So it's gonna be a really good opportunity for me to, appreciate the history. I'm a huge history nerd, so I'm really into documentary and wildlife conservation, but also my other passion, and I hope to be expanding into this is cultural exchange, anthropology, and history. So going to these places, like for me, is a dream. It's like a total dream.
Okay, and so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your journey and also about your life overall, okay?
Okay. All right, man. Yeah, sounds good.
So before we start our journey, Will in the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or something that not many people know about you.
Oh my gosh. What do people not? Kind of an open book. What do most people not know about me? Oh goodness. I have this unfortunate quality where I like to think about my answers before I respond. There's a lot of people who they just like rattle things off. My brain works slowly, so I have to think about things. What is something most people don't know about me? I suppose there's any number of things that most people don't know about me. I did not graduate with a bachelor's from college. So I have an associate's in interdisciplinary studies. I went to 5 different schools and I changed my career path 5 different times while trying to figure out what I want to do. So I'm really lucky and I get to do a lot of cool things now, but pretty much everything that I do now, I learned from YouTube. So I think a lot of people ask me, like, how do you manage? You must have had all this crazy background. It's like, no, I just decided I was going to do a thing. And the only thing that I ever got an official certificate in was, basically that I like to study a lot of different things. So that was it. Yeah.
Indeed. Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Always. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Sounds good.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
So let's do it.
Sounds good.
Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay, sure.
Right, first question for you is, what does money mean to you?
Interesting. So money, for me, it's a modern creation that is a means to an end. I think that money inherently is not a problem. I think money is just the way that we've agreed to say, okay, this is worth giving this amount of labor for X amount of means, right? I think that materialism is the problem. So I am all for, and I'm a huge proponent of giving and having a positive impact. I see what money can do, the strength of a currency in one place can do in a place where this currency isn't as strong. And I think that that's an imperative. That's like a moral imperative that we have to make a difference in the lives of others. And then I see the way that money is spent on things that really don't carry a lot of meaning over the long period of time and that are ultimately fleeting. So I think money is a vehicle of picking your own poison or your own path. Like you can do great things with money that are rewarding for you and everybody else around you, or you can do useless, meaningless things with money that end up causing much more of a problem for other people as well. So I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Money is a challenging thing.
Do you think that money can bring happiness?
No, I think money can facilitate happiness,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that money is necessary for facilitating happiness. I think that, I mean, there's a lot of studies, right, that say that once you have a certain amount of money, a certain amount of material wellness, your happiness doesn't exponentially increase. And in fact, with a certain amount of having money, your happiness begins to decrease. So I think that it's more like a hierarchy of needs-based thing. If you have what you need and you have the means of sharing beyond what you need, then I think that most of what defines somebody's happiness is their connections with other people and their moral framework, like the work they do on themselves and the work they do on understanding the world that makes happiness more available to them.
I see. All right. Next
Yeah.
question. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, next question for you is, what was your favorite thing to do as a kid?
Favorite thing to do as a kid? I like looking for rocks. I like looking for rocks. So if anybody walks around with me, they'll notice I'm always doing this. I still do this. I don't look up when I'm walking around. I'm always looking on the ground. And it's because I started mining for gemstones when I was a kid.
Right.
And so I just became addicted to like looking for things on the ground. So, you know, that translated into archaeology and history and coin collecting. Is like anything I could find on the ground that gave me a little piece of something, right, was a big thing for me. So I was always like, I was the kid during recess that was like out looking in the dirt instead of, you know, out playing with their friends. So yeah.
And when you look back about your childhood memories, what's the first one that comes to your mind that you're never gonna forget?
I have I mean, I had a lot of really awesome experiences as a kid. I have a lot of memories around like the early traveling that I did. My parents were really generous in taking us along with them on their trips when I was growing up. It was one of the reasons that I like traveling so much now. But my earliest memory, I remember being in a sink bath. You know when you're a baby and you get bathed in the sink? I have like this little flash of a memory of like the water coming down from a faucet. And then when I was growing up, the wallpaper in our house had these little carnival animals on the top. And so I can look up and I can see like the elephant and the hippo and the rhino like leading this carnival. So yeah, it's the first one that came to my mind. It's like my earliest memory.
Amazing. Next one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right, before the next question, you know, checking your videos on Instagram, there is, you know, someone very special for you over there called Kanan. Am I say right, Kanan or Kanon? The elephant.
Kanoon.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me your relationship. How did it come across? How did your path crossed?
Kanoon picked me. I don't know how to tell you. Like there are some elephants I've created connections with where I was like, oh, I'm gonna be your friend. But this was completely the opposite. I don't remember the exact first moment that I met Kanoon, but I remember every time I would see Kanoon, he would come over to me, and she would do this thing where, so Kanoon's gift is a result of a tragic backstory, right? So she was raised in an environment where she was forced to perform in an elephant circus and then was an elephant riding elephant. And so she was taught lots of different ways of doing things that humans found cute, but also communicating with humans in the same way that we would train a dog, right? You know, she was like, you know, an advanced training animal. But so she would tap these parts of her body with her trunk that I figured out was because she wanted me to scratch them because she had rough skin there. And so she would start tapping this part of her body and I would start scratching, and then she would get all excited and she would sniff my hair and she would, you know, do these elephant kiss things. So we started to communicate in a way that was pretty active. And after that, I mean, I think we just became buds, you know, like she knew that if she come to hang out with me, she would get scratched in good spots, and she really liked the way that my hair smelled. So she would like, and then she liked the smell of my breath. So she'd put her trunk on my mouth and then wait for me to breathe into her trunk. And then she would go, and then she would like get high off of it. She would go whap, and she'd bang her trunk into the ground, and she'd like get all like doughy eyed and like shake her head around. And, so we just became. She was like my girlfriend. Like we were hanging out all the time. Elephants have these people that take care of them. They're called their mahouts. And that's supposed to be their person. And, they sort of guide them around and they spend time with them and they feed them. Canute would leave her mahout and come hang out with me. And the mahout would just be like, all right, like I got to wait until she's ready. Yeah, it was really cool. So Canute, yeah, it's a very, very special elephant. But she's the only elephant that I spent time where she picked me. I mean, she chose me.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, next question for you is, what does success mean to you?
This is an important question. So for me, I have a personal belief that we are all in this life living essentially the same experience. And that while we try our best to make sense of it, nobody really understands what's going on, right? So in my opinion, the only meritorious, noble thing you can do in life is to try and improve the lives and improve upon the sufferings of other people or other animals, other sentient creatures, because it's the only thing that you can know for sure does any good. So for me, I think it's important to have as much wisdom as you can apply, learn as much as you can about life, about other perspectives, about the world, have integrity when you act, because that's the only way that you can both protect yourself and others, and then to dedicate your life in one way or another to improving the conditions of others. And if you can do those three things, so you can know what you believe, but be open to changing your mind, you know how you feel, but be open to changing your ways, and then apply yourself to making not just the world, but specifically the lives of other beings, creatures or animals, better, then you led a successful life.
Wow. I totally agree with you. I think, success is very personal. And what you just said now, it makes all sense, because when you think about success, you think about, maybe achieving something big, which it's good. It's not bad with that. However, for you to become a better person, to kind of, connect more with people, understand, putting yourself in other people's shoes, and, understand more about life. I think that's one big part of success for sure.
I mean, you can't take anything with you, right? Like you can't take anything with you. And any of the great accomplishments of people who have come before, 9 times out of 10, those people are forgotten. And the 1 time out of 10 that they aren't, their story is not told the right way. So you just can't know. We have this fantasy of wanting to accomplish big and great things. On the grand scale of time, none of that matters. None of that matters. I love my iPhone, but it's not, it's improving the world in some ways. It's doing terrible things to the world in the other ways. And the only way that could be different is whoever was designing the iPhone said, okay, I need to make sure that this does as much good as it possibly can and minimizing as much bad as it possibly can. Not, I'm going to make as much money off of this as possible or do whatever, that doesn't, no way. So I don't know. I think it's dangerous even to say that people should define their own kind of success, because you hurt people as a result. You hurt animals as a result. You hurt the world as a result. And that's the only thing that once you die, or you create an imperative for every living thing, you say, what's the one thing you shouldn't do? Because if you have the wisdom to know not to do harm, don't do it. Don't do it. That's it.
Great.
Yeah.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's get at it.
Next question is, what is a significant event that has changed you?
A significant event that has changed me? Sure. So I think the temptation, right, is to talk about hard things that have changed us, right? Because, a lot of times the difficult things that we go through lead to the most significant changes. But, that there's also a lot of good things that happen that just, so I, rather than big moments, there's also all these little moments in life that
Mhm.
you don't think are going to be significant and they end up being huge.
Yeah.
Right. So, um, the one example that I'm thinking of is I broke my computer. I broke my computer when I was on traveling in Thailand, right? I sat up and I had this thing on my chest and it smashed my computer screen. I was making a documentary, right? And I was like, oh my God, like I can't do anything with this. So that one moment ended up meaning that I had to stay in Chiang Mai where I was for longer. And in order to do that, I had to figure out something to do with my time, which is when I discovered the Chai Lai orchid. So all of the work that I do now with all of the elephants, everything that you see about Canoon or Sandy or Sivoy or any of the women there, none of that would have happened if I had just taken that thing off my chest instead of sitting up and having it smash my computer screen. So literally everything I'm doing in my life right now is a direct result of that one moment in time.
Were you calm at like right now? Or were you upset at the time?
I was furious. I was furious, dude. I smashed my computer. I think at that point I was so angry. I had my shoe in my hand, right? And I was like doing this, and I was like, moving. I was angry, and then it flew out of my hand,
Oh my God.
and it hit a wall, and it like cracked the wall. Like I was angry. I was mad. I was mad.
No, the way you described it was like, oh my God, it happened that it just smashed my laptop. I was like, oh my God. I just want to ask him if he was that calm.
Hindsight is 2020, man. No, I was pissed. I was pissed off. Totally.
Oh dear. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me something. What's the in your opinion, I mean, your experience with elephants, tell me something that you'd like people to know about them that maybe, in your opinion, people, they don't know much, or if you'd like to say some, to share something about them with elephants that maybe not many people know about it, what that would be.
Sure. So a lot of people that I know ask me how it is that I have such a connection with elephants. And the first thing I always tell them is, look, not every elephant is a nice elephant, right? Just the same way that not every person is a nice person, right? And that's because elephants are so intelligent, so emotionally intelligent, so intellectually intelligent, but especially emotionally intelligent, that they're in a different class of animal as far as I'm concerned. They're up there with the great apes or dolphins or pigs or octopus, where they have an awareness of the world that I think gives them so much personality. And so that creates in me all sorts of unpopular opinions about elephants. But I think the one thing that I would say is, if you think you know something about elephants, you really don't know enough about elephants, right? There's so much to learn about them. There's so many opinions out there about what should or shouldn't be done with them. And at the end of the day, I think elephants are both wild animals, but they are also animals that are capable of having close human relationships. And it's a type of animal that deserves an immense amount of respect, but also we shouldn't look down on them, or I don't know how to describe really what I'm saying. We shouldn't just render them into being an animal. Those are beings. Those beings have feelings, relationships, thoughts, ideas.
Wow.
So yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question is, who is your biggest hero?
Socrates.
Wow.
Yeah. Or Alan Watts. But it's Socrates. When I started studying Socrates, it changed my world, 100%.
Wow.
And people ask me, when people say, what's your religious affiliation? I say I'm a Socratic Buddhist, which doesn't make any sense to anybody. But basically, Socrates, I think, could be distilled down into one statement, which is that the truth lies somewhere between two opposites, but you can't know what it is.
Good one.
So my two favorite questions in life are, tell me what it is that you think you know, and what's the plan? Because most people can't give you both. And if they do, you can usually see right around it. So people who say, here's what I think I know versus here's what I know. And then people who say, well, here's the plan, or I don't really have a plan. You can learn a lot about somebody based off of them answering those two questions. And that all pretty much comes from Socrates. So.
Amazing. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. But before the last question, people who watch your series, watch your YouTube channel, Discovery Mode, what would you like them to take with them when they watch it, when they, go through those? What would you like them to take with them to their personal life?
I'm all about inspiring curiosity and conviction in people. So if you watch, my hope is that you not only become curious about other people, but become curious about yourself. Because the most effective way we move forward in life is by continuing to ask questions. Right? That's one of the reasons that I do documentary. It's one of the reasons that I have the personality that I do. Right? When you remain curious, you can remain humble, and when you remain curious, you can grow. So I think it's really important that people look at my content or the content of others, and instead of making basic assumptions, they ask questions about it. And in fact, if that's meaningful to people, the most important thing you can do to help me out and other creators like me is to share and save and engage with the content that we have, show other people the stuff that you find meaningful. And then especially if it impacts your life, or you can just come traveling with me. We can talk about it in person. So same thing.
Love it. Right, last question is, what is a negative thing that happened to you that came out as a positive thing in the end?
A negative thing that happened to me that came out.
You already talked about the laptop. If would you like,
yeah.
You just talk about that. That was a big thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very easy answer. I think that it's never fun when something that we perceive to be bad happens. And not only that, I think some things in life just suck. There's really no argument. There's this big push and temptation to say, oh, you always have to look at the positive side of it. And that's true. Every coin has two sides, but you don't have to minimize your experience. However, what you do with that experience from the moment it happens is what's important, right? So, if you take every moment as then water under the bridge, it's past. What do you do with now on, right? You work within your limitations and you push yourself to grow. You will always take a negative experience and turn it into something positive, because that's the choice that you allow yourself to make, Yeah.
Good. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Oh, geez. All right, here we go.
Let's start with family.
My mother.
Money.
Greed.
Fear.
Courage.
Life.
Beautiful.
Love.
Complicated.
Religion.
Misunderstood.
Sex.
Cool.
Politics.
Complicated.
Friendship.
The most important thing.
Desire.
Misunderstood.
Regret.
Never.
Success.
Important.
One word for wish.
Hope.
Happiness.
Great.
One word for Washington, D.C.
Dry.
One word for USA.
Complicated.
If you could just define your YouTube channel in one word, what that would be?
Excellent.
And the last one now, elephants, one word.
Magic.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your mom for a coffee and I'm going to ask her, define Your face. Define Andy in one positive word and one negative word only. What you would say?
Oh goodness. Pretty and lazy.
That was very fast. Let's play now.
No,
And
my mom is awesome. There's no way. She's my mom's great.
right, as let's see now, she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment and the opportunity to send her a message. What would you say?
Look, Ma, I'm doing it. No, yeah, no. I was gonna say something to my mom. Um, Thank you for believing in me. I'm never gonna stop trying.
Wow, beautiful. Let's play now
Mhm.
Andy and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Actually, before you ask me the question, what's the most meaningful lesson you've learned through elephants so far in your life?
With elephants, there is so much more to being a sentient being than you or I understand. There's so much more about the lived experience that we are having that we probably just do automatically without thinking because nobody told us to pay attention. And I think that elephants show us that. I mean, everybody feels within them that they have an instinct. Maybe it's that they have very powerful dreams, or they feel they can feel their loved ones from afar, or they are connected to the Holy Spirit, or they get a weird, icky, that intuition that bubbles inside of us. It happens on an individual basis.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a language where we can really understand what it's like. It's as though everybody's reading their own language and we don't know how to share the books with each other, right? Elephants know how to do that. Elephants do that with each other. They don't use words, but they teach each other incredible amounts of information and knowledge and skills through simple body language and through feeling.
Wow.
And I think that they've tapped into something that we just don't understand. So be curious about that and explore that, and remember that that's true in others. You know, if others are going through something, or they're having big emotions, or you know, they're experiencing something that is common between us, but like Socrates says, the truth of it lies somewhere between what I understand and what they understand, right? So that's it. Yeah.
Amazing. You can ask me a question now, Andy.
Yeah, well, so you actually asked me what I was going to ask you, which is what is one of the most pivotal blah, 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 sorry, one more time. What is one of the most pivotal, my God, pivotal. What is one of the most pivotal moments in your life that has led you to the path that you're on now? And is that path in alignment with your dream?
Wow, great question. Great question, Andy. You know what? I'll tell you something. I left Brazil when I was 19 years old. Yeah, I had this American dream. I think back in Brazil, South America, all of us we have this America dream, to go to the US. And long story short, I had the opportunity to move to Europe, to come to live in Portugal before moving to England. And I think that for me was something that I never thought about. I never one day in my life I would think about living in England or in Portugal. And I'm so grateful for this life opportunity that, you know very well. Sometimes life drags you in a direction that you're not expecting, and your life just changes and you go to the direction that you're not expecting. And I meant to be here in London for one reason or another. I feel like I meant to be here more than ever. And also, had my time in Portugal as well. So I think your question, I think that's the opportunity that was presented to me. If I'll tell you the whole story, I'll spend like another hour here, just how everything happened. But literally, it came out of nowhere. I literally was like, focus on get, a green card, or try to, to live in the US to get a visa and this and that. And, suddenly I had a little opportunity to talk to someone, and this person just told me, "Have you ever thought about living in Portugal?" As a teenager, I had a dream to live in a country where I could speak English every day. I was studying English as a teenager. And yes, I think that's a life opportunity that's happened to me. That's just turned around everything. And yeah, I'm meant to be here, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity that brought me to here so far. So yeah.
We'd love to hear it. That's awesome. Cool. That's great.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, man, it's good. I always like talking about substantive things. It's nice.
Thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind, and also thanks for sharing those life experiences and educate us a little bit more about animals and elephants as well. I think talking to you, I've learned a lot about them that I didn't know, and I think it's really powerful to know that. I changed a little bit my concept about elephants for sure after talking to you. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you, man. People like you who do these kind of shows, who give creators the opportunity to talk more extensively, means that people get to know us beyond the 15 seconds that they spend with us on our Instagram channel. So I appreciate the opportunity to get people to know me a little bit better too.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Here we go. Hope is the one thing we can never lose if we choose not to let it go. It's always there to grab, even when we cannot find it. Hope, like love, survives all things.
Wow, amazing.
There you go.
Thanks so much. Regards to your family, to your mother, and also good luck on your trip, to England, to Ireland, and to Egypt as well. And you keep in touch.
Thank you.
We'll look more in your journey when come up with new videos. Okay. Thanks again.
Sounds good. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for your time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.